Hey everybody, so I'm going to show you today a few colored pencil techniques that you can use when coloring with pencil crayons. So what you're going to need for this is you're going to need a set of pencil crayons, all colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. You're also going to need white, black, and your colorless blender, which looks like this. Okay, it's the pencil crayon that you got inside the bag with the paint. Okay, so you're gonna need to have that sharpened and ready to go. Yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna get you to do is with your colors, we're gonna show you each of these techniques, and we're gonna start with varying pressure. So I'm gonna use a good dark color to show you varying pressure and how creating a variation in the pressure you're putting on your pencil can create a good tonal difference in your color. Okay, so this is pretty simple and straightforward. This is going to be your darkest part, and as you go up, it's going to get lighter. Okay, so what I'm going to do down here is hold my pencil crayon totally sideways and just back and forth very gently. And then the further up I get, the lighter I'm going to press. Okay, so another thing that you can do with pencil crayons is to make it so that your pencil crayons are smooth. If you do a second layer, either in the same direction or in the opposite direction, keep your pressure the same and get lighter as you go up, it'll make it a lot more smooth looking. Okay, so that's the first technique. The second technique that I'm going to show you is called hatching. Okay, so you've done this before. It's like cross hatching from value in week 1. So all you have to do is come in here with your pencil crayon and make little tick marks like this. That's hatching. And then if you go over it another way, also considered hatching, you can fill an area like that. The thicker the tick marks are, so the closer this is together, the darker it's going to appear. Okay, so if I were to like go up here and have that, and then that gives a lighter area. It's not as dark, it's not as shaded. Okay, so the closer these are, the more there are, the darker it's going to look. The less there are, the farther apart they are, the lighter the hatching is going to make it. So that's a way of shading. Texture is pretty straightforward. It's just kind of the same as pencil. You can do what you want in here to create different textures with pencil crayons. I like to do this. It looks like hair. You don't need to fill the whole box, just enough to give yourself an example. I'm just rushing it like this. You can also do dots, like stippling. It's a little bit harder with pencil crayon. Again, the closer you are, the darker the dots are going to look. Okay, now we're going to move this up and we're going to look at cross hatching. So you can cross hatch with your pencil crayons, same as you do with your pencil. You're going one way, and then you can layer it by going the other way. I always suggest layering your pencil crayons. It'll make everything look smoother and more professional in the end. Okay, so that's 3 layers. Every direction I go is different. So I'm going down, and then I'm going to go diagonally this way, and then I can go straight up and down. I'm just trying to get a good variation to make sure that I'm getting all the indents on my paper. Okay, let's go for this color now. Light green. Burnishing. So burnishing is when you press your pencil really, really hard as you can down on your page, and it becomes shiny like this. Okay? Almost indents the paper. Burnishing is good, but it shouldn't be used until the very end because I can now not take another color and go over top of this. It won't blend together, okay? So the only time you're gonna do burnishing is when you're not layering a color over top, okay? You can also burnish with your colorless blender, okay? So you take your colorless blender and you can go on top of it. So like if I didn't burnish this and I just did like multiple layers, it's not burnishing, I'm just giving it good pressure. If I wanted to make it burnish without pressing too hard on my green, go in there with my colorless blender, put a lot of pressure, and blend it up like that, okay? The last thing that I can do is I can use white to burnish. So if I give you a layer like that, I can take my white pencil crayon and I can go over top and burnish it, but the white changes the color, okay? And the last technique that you're gonna practice is layering. And I'm gonna show you here, I'm gonna show you how to go from red to orange to, I'll do yellow, okay? And I'm gonna blend it together so that it looks like a gradient. So what you do is, same as like the varying pressure, get a good solid base with your first color. So this is your darkest color. Layering and blending is best with analogous colors, so colors that are beside each other on the color wheel. At least 3 of them, but 2 is fine for purposes of blending, but I want you to use 3 of this. So I've gone over that a few times with my red. Now I'm gonna use my orange. I'm gonna start layering my orange a little bit on top of the red, and then I'm gonna build its own layer in its little own quarter section, all the way to the top. And then I'm going to use yellow to do the same thing. I'm starting over orange, so like my yellow starts there, going like this, all the way to the top, just like that. Okay, so now you can see that there's clearly areas where the colors, where there's a different color divide, okay? So right here for the yellow and right here for that. So now what you're going to do is layer. So I'm going to go over this again, same pressure as I was. I'm going to try and make it darker. And when I get to this area, I'm going to do something like use the side of my pencil to do little circles. Kind of like this. Okay? And the farther away I get from the dividing line, the lighter my pencil is going to get. So the lighter I'm going to press. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the orange. I'm going to go over it like this, layering until I get up here, and then circle, 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 circles into the red. Okay? Now, finally, yellow and orange. I'm still going to use my orange pencil crayon. I've layered it twice. I'm going to do my circles. Now, because yellow is significantly lighter than orange, I'm going to press not too hard when I'm doing my circles to blend my yellow and my orange. And I'm going to get really, 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 really light until I get into that yellow area. Okay? Just a little bit more right there. And then I can use my yellow pencil crayon to do the same thing down here. Circle, 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 layer. And now you have something that looks like that. And then you can take your colorless blender and you can go from the bottom, pressing down. And there you have it. Nice little gradient. So the last thing that you're going to do on this sheet, which I'm not going to show you, you're going to do it yourself. You're going to think of some good color combinations and you're going to practice them in here. So like use this layering effect and do it sideways with like green and blue, yellow, red, that kind of thing to test it out. Color combination is up to you, but I want at least 3. Okay? Good job, everybody.